Hello, and where's my coffee? Who has it? Much better. Now, welcome to video number 1 for preparing for the workplace. My name is Chris, and during the course of this video, we're going to discuss the role of HR in hiring, negotiating a job offer, identifying the value in a job, the tools and techniques to market yourself, the role of the office environment, and workplace strategies for success. Let's go. So, what role does HR play in hiring? Well, they're likely going to be your first contact when applying to a job. They're going to be the ones that you're sending that email off to with your resume and your cover letter. They're the front line, the gatekeeper, if you will. They're the ones that you need to impress or prove your worth to at a glance. Now, sight unseen, of course, your resume is the first conversation that you're going to have with human resources. This is where you sell your skills, your education, your experience, and effectively show them on paper that you have what it takes to do the job. Once human resources has completed the initial screening of all applicants, which hopefully includes yourself, they pass the best applicants along to the hiring manager, and together they conduct the interviews to determine who best meets the skill and education eligibility criteria. This is also your chance to make a good first impression. Don't waste it. How to negotiate a job offer. Number 1, be ready for tough questions. They will come. If you don't prepare and practice beforehand, you're setting yourself up to stutter and fail. And try to anticipate the direction that they're going. A lot of times, the questions that they're asking you are trying to establish an idea of the way that you problem solve, handle different situations, interact with people, react under pressure. Understand that no job you ever apply for will be 100% perfect for you. But also don't settle for something that you don't really want, and don't sell yourself short. Now, there's a difference between not selling yourself short and being unreasonable. Understand your worth and don't understate your skills. Keep your worth in mind, but also try to see things from their side of the table. They need somebody to fill a position to do a job. You may be the best suited for that job, but if you walk in with demands, they're likely not going to like you much. While making counteroffers is good for you, it also shows them initiative, which is good for you. But you need to recognize when you should give and when you should try to take. But remember, this is a professional environment and situation. They may not need you as much as you need them. Be humble. Identifying the value in a job. Now, when you're young or you're just starting out in the workplace, you're going to be thinking of a few things. How much money they're going to pay you to be there, how often and how long you can go on vacation, and what the benefits are like, perks of the job or where it's at. But once you start thinking long-term, once you start looking into a career and not just a job, you need to start thinking about the long-term game and goal that you have in mind. To this end, other things should become factors in your decision to apply for a job. One is the potential experience gained. How about the exposure to new technologies and techniques? Applying for a job that challenges you is vital and crucial to your personal and professional growth. If nothing else, working a job that challenges you, even in the short term, will likely give you a transferable skill, be it verbal or professional or practical. Something that you can take with you when you move forward, when you go to the next job or the next career. That's why interviewing is so important. Just because an interview doesn't go well doesn't mean there's no silver lining. Doesn't mean there was no benefit to the process. Having interviews not go well is how you change and develop your strategy to apply to the next attempt. What you did wrong in the first one is what you'll do right in the next one. It isn't as easy as it sounds, but that's the way things work. It takes practice, and it takes dedication. It takes the willingness to learn, to change you, your natural habits, your natural mannerisms, to appeal not just to the people doing the interview, but to the company that they represent. The tools and techniques to market yourself. One of the easiest things you can do before an interview is practice interview questions. In this day and age, Google is the first and foremost resource for knowledge, and looking up typical interview questions or practice interview questions or difficult interview questions is exactly where you should be starting. Looking these up will likely give you an idea into the sorts of things that you should be expecting from your interview. And seeing these questions coming, being able to practice your answers ahead of time, it's going to give you an edge in the interview when that tough question comes up and you've got an answer. Next would be to research the employer that you're applying for the job with. Before your interview, make sure that you understand the kind of business that they do. What programs do they deal with? What kind of services do they provide? Are there specialized softwares that they develop? What is this company's mission statement? And one of the most difficult things that you can do, one of the most difficult techniques, is to identify your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. Identify where your weaknesses may lie, because they will ask you what you think you're worst at or what your weaknesses are. Turn that sort of narrow focus into project and deadline dedication. Create strengths from your weaknesses. Create strengths that benefit the employer. The role of the office environment. Now, every office environment has a vibe about it. Whether it's the people or the kind of work that they're doing, there is a definite sense of the state of mind, of the morale in a workplace. If people are overworked and they're stressed out, you're going to feel it the moment you walk in the door. But if it's laid back, if the business is good, and the people there know what they're doing, if they're confident, everybody is working as a team, you're going to feel that too. And that will directly affect you, your productivity, your morale and mood, the way that you interconnect and communicate with everybody around you. Now, understand when you go into a workplace that your new coworkers will already have well-established and interconnected cliques and rapport with each other. There's already a system in place, and these people have known each other. They've worked together for varying amounts of time, and you need to find where you fit into that. The best thing I can suggest is to be yourself. Be yourself. There's a reason they think you're going to fit, not just the role that you've been hired to fulfill, but your place in the workplace. They think you will be a good fit with everybody else. Another benefit to the office environment itself, something you can take away from it, isn't so much the rules and guidelines that they're going to give you, because those exist everywhere, but it's the general dress code, the degree and level of professionalism that's required in that environment, what you can have on your desk, the way that you can talk when around other people. And when you can be yourself, you're going to be your best self. You're going to do your best work. That's when you're really going to shine. And lastly, workplace strategies for success. Number 1, remain optimistic. Be happy to be there. It'll show on you and it'll affect the people around you. When people around you are happier when you're around, they're going to be happier working with you. Listen to your coworkers. When you're having a conversation and they're talking to you, it'll likely be about work for the first while especially. Listen to them. Understanding the environment you've just surrounded yourself with is key to your success, but also to your happiness. Maybe the job isn't what you expected. Maybe the environment and the people aren't what you expected. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it'll reinforce your drive and initiative to do better. And don't forget to keep in touch with the business you're doing. When it comes to technological demand or ideas or events, things like trade shows are very, very useful tools and events for you to attend. Your workplace may actually have, an event calendar of sorts. They may already be keeping track of the events that are coming up, whether they're workplace-related functions or community events or extracurriculars and then different activities. Staying in touch with those sorts of things also helps build your relationship with the people that you work with. But it also puts a face to you and your willingness to help or to take part and participate for the company. The more you put yourself out there and interact and involve yourself with the rest, the more they're going to remember you at the end of the day. All right, I think that about wraps it up for video number 1 for preparing for the workplace. Again, my name is Chris. This has been fun.